Taxes, the government's favorite way to take your money, supposedly to pay for schools, roads, healthcare, and defense. But sometimes taxes are introduced to fix social problems by changing people's behavior. And these taxes, oh boy, can become extremely problematic. For example, what if the government simply doesn't like the way you look? This is Tsar Peter the Great of Russia. Not that you'd know it from the outfit.
That's because I'm traveling across Europe incognito. I'm here to learn all things European.
Right, he's traveling here with a large envoy, and his goal is to learn how to turn Russia into a global power. So, what is he doing?
I'm learning to build ships.
This Tsar was actually working as a ship's carpenter to learn the trade and how to build a navy from scratch, because Russia didn't have one. Yes, it's true. As always, we double-check our facts, and you can find the sources right up here. So when Peter the Great returns home, he brings in foreign craftsmen and engineers and starts transforming the country. But there is one part of Russia that stubbornly refuses to change.
How can I modernize the country when my court looks like a gathering of Gandalfs and Dumbledores?
Was not exactly what he said, but he would have if The Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter had existed back then, because the court looked like this.
I say, who is this Gandalf?
If they don't want to become European, I'll force them. They are simply lacking an incentive. From now on, if you have a beard, you need to pay a tax.
A tax? On a beard?
That's right, but it isn't your usual tax, no.
True, it was surprisingly progressive. The rich had to pay more than the poor, and peasants didn't have to pay it at all. Instead, they paid a small beard fee whenever they entered a city, which would have been great, except the Tsar wasn't simply taxing facial hair. In Russia, a beard was a symbol of status, masculinity, and a man's pride. For many Orthodox Christians, it also had deep religious meaning. Many believed that shaving a face God had given them was a sin. Peter the Great saw an outdated style. They saw their dignity, their faith, possibly even their salvation. And while a wealthy merchant could simply pay to keep his beard, a poorer man faced a very different choice.
Aha, you pay the beard tax.
But I don't have the money.
No money, no beard. We'll shave it off right here and now.
Oh
no! And yes, they really could shave your beard off right there if you couldn't pay.
You again! But we shaved off your beard!
Best investment ever! Yeah, I'm sure if somebody had actually come up with detachable beards back then, they would have made a fortune.
Did you pay your beard tax?
Oh, that's a good question. How did they know whether people had paid? They used these special metal tokens as proof of payment.
Oh, I see. Government approved facial hair. You're good.
But what the government didn't expect was the consequences this tax led to. According to John Perry, an English engineer who lived in Russia at that time, some men were so afraid that they wouldn't be allowed into heaven without their beards that they kept their shaved-off beards and asked to be buried with them. The resistance culminated in the Astrakhan Revolt when soldiers and townspeople rebelled against Peter's westernizing reforms and compulsory shaving. And while Peter the Great was dealing with a rebellion, something really strange was happening in England.
7, 8, 9...
I'm sorry, why are you counting the windows?
We've got a new tax. Now I need to count how many windows each building has and tax the landlord accordingly. Fewer than 10 windows, 2 shillings. 10 to 20, 6 shillings. More than 20, 10 shillings.
And honestly, the logic almost made sense. Back then, it was difficult for the government to know how much money someone earned without entering their home and going through their finances. But windows could be counted from the street. And since rich people generally owned larger houses with more windows, the more windows they had, the richer they probably were. What could possibly go wrong? Wait, I'm the landlord of this building. We're doing some repairs here. Would you like a cup of coffee before you finish your window counting?
Boys, you've got 15 minutes.
Yes, Governor. As you can see, we have exactly 9 windows. Here are your 2 shillings.
Everything appears to be in order.
Wait, what happened? I've been renting this room for years and it had 2 windows. I wake up and they're gone. Where are they? You'll get used to it. Oh, and by the way, your rent is going up next month. The tax was supposed to target the rich, under the logic that wealthy people had bigger houses and more windows. But in reality, the rich owned both their luxury estates and most of the rental market. Naturally, to avoid the tax, they bricked up the windows in their tenants' homes, never their own. And it was much worse than you might think. For over a century, entire generations lived in damp, dark, and completely windowless rooms. The lack of ventilation created the perfect environment for typhus and cholera, while the lack of sunlight caused widespread vitamin D deficiency. The French actually mocked the British for this, calling rickets the British disease. It seems to be working well for the Brits. Let's tax windows as well. And we should tax doors too while we're at it. And they did. In 1798, France introduced its own tax on both windows and doors. Yeah. In both France and the UK, you can still see bricked up windows in old buildings as a result of this tax. But if taxing beards or sunlight entering our homes sounds crazy, wait until you hear about this next tax, which was the most persistent of them all. For over 2,000 years, from ancient Rome to modern days, rulers introduced it in one form or another. And it might be coming back quite soon. You see, taxes are only useful to governments if there are people to pay them. But what if there simply aren't enough people to tax?
Italy needs more people!
But Italy already has around 40 million.
Exactly, barely enough for a respectable empire.
This is Benito Mussolini, and he has a problem. Italy's birth rate is falling, and honestly, the logic seems simple enough. More marriages should mean more children. So if Italian men weren't getting married voluntarily, perhaps they simply needed a little financial encouragement. Do you think they started giving financial help to new families? No, they introduced the bachelor tax. Taxing people for being single? Can't you grow the economy, improve living conditions, and offer competitive wages?
No.
So, unmarried Italian men between the ages of 25 and 65 had to pay a special tax. The amount depended on their age and income, and as the years passed, the government repeatedly increased it. Soon enough, an unmarried man could face a total tax bill 75% higher than that of a married one.
Name,
Giuseppe.
age,
32?
married.
No, I haven't met the right person yet.
That'll be 35 lira plus an additional 25% on top of your income tax.
Can the government help me find the right person?
No, but if you wait until you're 36, the tax becomes more expensive.
Very romantic.
Next.
And if a bachelor couldn't pay, there was another solution. I don't have any money.
That's all right, your father can pay it for you. I told you to get married!
To whom?
At this point, anyone really?
Yes, fathers could actually be made responsible for the bachelor tax owed by their adult sons. Because apparently the government decided that parental disappointment wasn't quite strong enough on its own.
Oh, there, a girl, go talk to her.
Okay, I can always get divorced if it doesn't work out.
What? Don't you know divorce is illegal?
It is?
Of course. Also, abortion and contraception are banned. Why are you still not married?
Never.
That's unfortunate. Text, please.
So, did it work? Sort of. After the tax became much more expensive, the number of marriages increased. But marriage wasn't Mussolini's real goal. He wanted babies. However, despite all his efforts, Italy's birth rate continued to decline. Obviously, instead of producing more babies, these policies created a lot of unhappy and dysfunctional families. You just can't tax people into falling in love. But the craziest, weirdest, and most surprising consequence was discovered much later. What is that man doing?
The laundry, sir.
Why? Doesn't he have a wife?
His wife negotiated very favorable marriage terms.
That was not part of the plan.
Right, a recent study found that in marriages created by the bachelor tax, husbands did substantially more housework, while their wives gained more free time and greater independence. Mussolini wanted to push women into the home and turn them into mothers. Instead, his bachelor tax accidentally accelerated women's emancipation. What I'm trying to say is, governments invent absurd laws to fix problems they often created in the first place. The rich buy their way out of them, and ordinary people are left picking up the pieces. But governments scamming their citizens with insane taxes are amateurs compared to this scammer. He managed to literally sell the Eiffel Tower and cheat Al Capone. Check out our video right here to learn about the most fearless con artist in history. Oh, and please subscribe and join Pickle's Secret Society.